Shout out to JJ McGraw for sending me this story. And I know I was looking at the body of your email. And you said you had sent me this email a couple of days ago. I must have missed it. It probably got lost in the pile of emails that I've received. But thank you for, acknowledging that anyway. But I will speak on this particular story and the update that it came with. So this man's name is Michael Grief, and he was 30 years old. And this man did a few unthinkables. Now, you can tell that this guy, by the time I get through this end of the story, let's just put it this way, he was an ain't shit type of person. So basically what happened is this man was he probably was living with his mother. I'm sorry, not his mother, his grandmother. And he got a hold of her debit card and he was spending to his heart's content. So much, in fact, that he overdrafted her bank account of $1,100. Now, just imagine this. You spend all this money and you overdraft $1,100. Two things. One, how much money did the grandmother have in her account? Not to be that nosy and everything like that, but I'm just curious. How much money did she have in her account that he ended up overdrafting $1,100? That means he's been spending like crazy just to, just going like nuts with the spending. Who knows what is on the end of those bank statements? Who knows what he's been spending that stuff on? And number two, how in the world did he get a hold of her card? Well, see, with her overdraft and she has to pay his overdraft fees, just imagine having to spend $1,100 just to get your account back in good standing to zero. But that's not even the worst part about the story. The worst part about the story is that the grandmother eventually did confront him about the overusage of her debit card and the overdrafting of $1,100. And then they ended up getting into an argument. The argument turned physical, more so him than her. Because what he ended up doing was he ended up gouging out her eyes. That means he took his hands or his fingers and snatched out her eye because she confronted him about spending money unnecessarily with her debit card, not his, but hers. So you got to think the nerve of this guy to overdraft his grandmother's account, $1,100 on whatever, and then get into a physical altercation with her where he snatched out her eye. Where when I was reading the article, it was saying that she has a less than 1% chance of regaining her vision. And from what I'm looking at, he gouged out both eyes. Not one, but both of them. Well, the update that came from this story is that this man has apparently killed himself. My thing is this: why didn't you just do that before you ruined your grandmother's vision or ruined her finances? Like, she was probably retired. She was only probably getting a fixed income and she had to rely on that government check. No, not the government check, but you know what I mean. That Social Security check, which was probably all she had in retirement. You did all of that and couldn't even face your consequences like a man and ended up killing yourself like the coward that he was. That's some messed up stuff right there. And they like this, and they like to call us savages. I can't really pinpoint a time when I've heard a story where a person who looked like myself, who identified as what I identify as, doing something even remotely that extreme. I know there's some horror stories out there, but my goodness. So now his grandmother is left with probably no vision and $1,100 in debt. She probably had all her debt clean if she ever had any type of debt. And now she has this a negative $1,100 overdraft. And she's probably going to lose her vision. All because her grandson was a bitch ass motherfucker. And now he's dead. He can't even face the consequences. Me personally, he was a coward in more ways than one. Him taking his own life in the midst of all the stuff that he did made him an even bigger coward, in my opinion. And by the way, this happened in New York. Like I said, some of these stories sometimes that I get sent, I wish that some of them weren't even true. Some of them sound like they aren't true, but they are. But y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one.